All right, welcome to episode 8. We're here with Andy Harrington, Clint Hordemann, coaches for the Pro 16 teams. And as we bring this docuseries to a close, we wanted to kind of wrap things up, dig a little deeper into a few items, and then ask these guys some questions. We've also got some questions from our viewers who wanted to ask a few things about the season and some things moving forward. So with that, we'll jump right into it. First of all, we're going to talk about the USA Club Basketball Championships. That was a special opportunity that Andy's team got to do with the 15U Pro 16 team, where we went over to Rock Hill, South Carolina. It's run by USA Basketball, and man, it was a cool thing to do, where all expenses paid. Got to bring the team over. Every shoe circuit was represented there, and we'll show some highlights from that.
How was it? Point at the map and we'll get there somehow. The sky ain't falling, let's get out of this town. Our time is vital and we'll make it count. Doing what we can to show them who we are now. Okay. Yeah. Let's show them what we made it. Let's show them who we are. Okay. Yeah. Don't aim for the clouds, we gotta shoot for the stars. We got tonight. Yeah, we got tonight. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. This is our time. Okay, now is our time. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright. Yeah. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. Yeah. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright. Let's make the most, show the world who we are. I'm never looking back because I made it this far. Don't need to stop, never listen to them. If they don't like the water, then they don't have to swim. We got tonight. Yeah, we got tonight. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. This is our time. Okay, now is our time. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright. Yeah. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright. We'll show the world who we are. 'Cause yeah, we made it this far. Show the world who we are. 'Cause yeah, we made it this far. We got tonight. Yeah, we got tonight. We got it going on and we're feeling alright. This is our time. Okay, now is our time. We're doing what we want and we're feeling alright.
You both went. Give a few highlights and overviews of the experience that you had when you went there.
You can go, Clint.
Right, so, first of all, it was a really cool experience. It was something that was provided and put on by the NC2A, and it was a unbelievable, organized event where the competition was at the highest level. I mean, these are the best teams in the country. They had both 15 and 16U teams there. They also had a showcase for individuals at the 17U level. Literally hundreds of college coaches spanning from high major D1, D2, NAIA. Really an amazing experience for these guys. Also did some really cool classes talking about recruiting, talking about the constant evolution of the transfer portal and NIL.
Social media.
It was just a really cool, well-organized event. Something very, very special for those athletes to partake in. And again, just some kind of a once-in-a-lifetime type of deal. It was really, really fun and learned a ton.
Okay, so jumping back into the season, one thing that was really unique about the Next Pro circuit is that we had both the Pro 16 League and the Next League, and they all competed at the same places. And two of our teams, the Jansen 17U Next team and the Wadsworth Next team, both had really good seasons. Wadsworth's team actually got into the Pro 16 tournament. Jansen's team came close, didn't quite get in. But one thing that I think was apparent was that the Next worked in terms of recruiting. The Pro 16 teams tend to get it seems like they get a lot of the attention. The Next teams were getting a lot of attention too, and in fact, there was a whole bunch of offers that came out of there.
I think that just in today's generation of basketball, being recruited is hard enough with the transfer portal, guys getting extra years given back to them through COVID or whatever, and so the Next was super advantageous for our teams because they legit had opportunities to play in front of coaches every weekend that they played, and that was something that we were hunting for, and we definitely found with all of our 17 teams on the circuit.
I think we have 10 players that played in the Next that have offers across the board at different levels. And so that just proves that it works. Not every shoe circuit does that. In fact, I think Next is the Puma Next is the only circuit that actually does that, and which makes it a great experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Clearly got the exposure that they were hoping to get. And it just shows that if you're in the right program, you don't have to play on the top team all the time. We talk about that a lot. You just have to play on the right team and get in the right situation. And both Coach Jansen and then one of our 15U coaches, Alex Hobbs, they got the opportunity to take new jobs during the season, and different situations for both of them, but kind of a trend that we've seen over the years for our coaches. Talk a little bit about the opportunities that those guys get and what the select opportunity looks like, not just for players, but for coaches.
I would say, over the 20 plus years we've been doing this, Vince, we've had the best coaches that you can possibly imagine. And not only do they come in and they're developing the players that they're coaching, but they get to run their own team. They get to call their own timeouts. They get to run their own sets. They're really getting, if you're an assistant, a lot of times you're not getting that. So they're really getting a live, on the fly, version of what it's really like out there. So that's a great way for them to develop, and their goals for the majority of them are to keep moving up that ladder. And we've seen it with dozens of our coaches that have worked their way through different levels but have continued to get promoted, which I thought was is what we're here for. It's what we want. We want those kids to get that college level experience, and for those coaches to continue to grow and get better. And I also think that with those promotions, it allows for our network to continue to grow. It allows for those coaches' network to grow because they're meeting the players, the AAU programs throughout. And I think it's great for the actual college programs. For instance, Alex's coach wanted him to stay on with Select and stay out there and recruit and work our program and work throughout the summer as well as the spring. So, no, I think it's just been a great, it's been something that's been special to us, is that we get these great guys that continue to just move right up the ladder, which is a lot of fun.
Well, and one other coach that went from an assistant high school coach to a high school head coach, Derek Wadsworth, his team is playing in the 4A state quarterfinals in Utah this upcoming week, and he's a first-year head coach. So college, high school, we want all these guys to continue to move forward if they can.
Yeah. That's a great point. It's not just college, it's also high school. If coaches want an opportunity and they have aspirations to move up or just get better, Select seems to provide a really good opportunity for them to work on the X's and O's and game management and player development. We had some questions come in from viewers, and we wanted to ask these guys what they thought about them. So one of them comes in from Kevin Attila. His question was, with regards to high school teams, in 2024-25, what is the most challenging aspect of coaching? So I think we'd throw this to Andy, since he's a high school coach, and see what your thoughts were on that.
Yeah, I think the hardest part right now is, in this given climate, parents. I think the expectation level of parents for their player, their son or daughter, and for the coaches is something that is causing a real riffle between coaches, players, programs. I think the kids are going to be bought into what they're being told, but when they're getting that constant barrage of messaging that challenges what the coach is saying or the other players or whatever, it causes a riffle between the team. And so I think the biggest thing for me as a high school coach is having parents that are just bought into trusting what we're trying to accomplish and do, and trusting that we know what we're going to do. And sometimes I think it's really hard for people to only look through one lens and not the big lens of the entire team and program and not just their son. And I think we're seeing that more and more, and I think it's hard for coaches, but I think all high school coaches are trying to do what's best for the team, and that sometimes gets missed on.
I think in addition to that, just to add, because that's perfect, is just I think parents and players are following a lot of misinformation. I think that it's hard to figure out what is the truth and what honestly coaches are looking for. I understand that they need to find and surround themselves with people that are willing to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Most of these players, the elite ones, they want to get better and they need to know how to get better and they need the truth on their weaknesses, and the ones that accept that and their parents accept that are the ones that grow and get to be in a great position, and the ones that are fighting that growth and those truths are the ones that are struggling. And so I think that that trust that these players have in us as coaches and in their high school coaches especially, because the high school coaches, those players are around them so much more than they're around their AAU coach. I just think that they need to just understand and trust what's going on and trust the process, and then they'll be able to develop better and have a better experience, because that's what it's really truly about is the ride, the experience, and the fun and joy and friendships that it can bring.
Yeah.
And this kind of riffing off of that, and we haven't talked about this, but I do want to throw it out there. And obviously, Clint, you've been doing this for a very long time, and you've been doing it for a while now too. Is there a difference between, say, 10 years ago or even 15 years ago and now in terms of expectations, or is it more a sense of those expectations have just become more out there where you know about them?
You've been doing it longer than me.
I can tell you right now, the number one thing that I see that's different is social media. Social media has a lot of great things that it provides, but it provides so much of, and I've already said this, misinformation that confuses people. Mm-hmm. They see an offer. Oh, that kid got an offer. That kid committed. And they don't even know what that means. It might mean they got $500, or it might mean they've got a full ride. But there's so much different information, because anybody can put out there and say anything. Yeah. And so I think what it does is, with parents and players, is it creates the compare game. Yeah. And everybody's always played the compare game. 20 years ago when I was coaching, parents and players were playing the compare game, which I hate. And I just mean that's when there's, well, my son's better, or as good or better than that player. Why is he getting this? And I do whatever. And but that misinformation that comes from unreliable sources creates a whole wave of issues that can be provided. It can be they don't have to happen. They don't have to exist if you're just trying to think it through and then trying to hunt what's really going on and hunting the truth. So I do think that that's been a challenge that I don't see ever changing. So it's an adjust. And, parents are going to have to adjust. Players are going to have to adjust. But I do think that they just need to continue to do more homework and ask more questions, and not just see something that gets posted and go, that's it. That's number one, because it can really muddy the waters and make things very confusing. That's definitely one thing I've seen over the years that's made it challenging.
I agree. I just think we're getting caught up in things that we can't control, and the wrong things. And the biggest things that I think as a coach are control what you can control, be the best player that you can be the best teammate that you can be. And if you're getting caught up in that person gets 3 more shots, or they get to do this, and why does that team get to do that, and why don't we get to do that? We're worrying about things that are not within our control. And we're going to find more happiness if we just focus on the growth factor of getting better every day and just embracing being a part of a high school basketball team. Because at the end of the day, these are all lessons that are hopefully teaching us things that we can use in the real world when we're older. And I think we're getting caught up in the wrong things right now.
Okay, that's good. And that kind of leads into another question that came. Jackson Templeton asked, what can top players do to stand out? And I get the feeling that a lot of what you just talked about are probably those same things that can help a top player stand out.
The first thing that you're recognizing, obviously, is their level of talent, their athleticism. And going back to what Andy said, you can only control what you can control. If you're not 6'10", it's not your fault. You've got to figure out the best way to make your 5'11" frame and the athleticism can be improved, but some of those things can't be solved. But to showcase your athleticism and your ability to get better and continue to work on your talent level, your shot, your jumper, your ball handling, passing, defense. I think also just showing how competitive you are by be willing to make all those, game-winning plays. I think that's a big thing that will help you stand out. Those are the things that I'm looking for. I know that colleges are looking for.
For me, the mental aspect is such a huge piece of the game that I think we lose sight on. I think being able to react to certain situations and moving on fast, not getting caught up in scoring a bunch of points, just making constant game-winning plays, whether it's just setting a hard screen one possession. And I think that trickles down to not even in the game, but just on and off the court. The best players that I've coached, whether they show up for a workout, an open gym, whatever, they're so mentally locked into that situation that they're maximizing every single second that they have out on the floor. And over time, you just see the drastic change in their game because they're controlling what they can control, like we said earlier, and they're focused the entire time.
All right, let's talk a little bit about 2025 moving forward. What are some things that we're looking forward to and people can look to in the future for Select?
Well, first of all, we're excited to be back on the Next Pro. I'm really excited about the interest that we're garnishing with players, and I just think we're going to have some really great groups. So obviously, we've had people reaching out, we've had people signing up for tryouts. We have another location, just kind of due to popular demand and people reaching out. We're looking at doing a tryout on March 16th at South Puget Sound in Olympia, Washington, which will be really convenient if you're in the Portland or Seattle area to come. And it's an opportunity not only to just try out and see if you can make a team, but maybe get a little more familiar with us and our program and how we do things to see if it's something that you would want to consider. I know there's a lot of programs out there that are awesome, but maybe you're looking at something different and want to be a part of what we're doing. So that's going to be kind of new and exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait for this upcoming spring and summer for our high school teams. I think last year we took a huge step from a program standpoint with our coaches, our players. I thought the league that we were in took a huge step as well, and I can't wait for year 3. I think all those things are going to continue to move forward in the right direction, and I can't wait to be around it. We've had so many players reach out from so many different areas that are new to us. We also started this year with our youth program. They're just finishing up the winter season, right, over in Portland. But Coach Kinneman and his staff did an amazing job this winter. Obviously, as we go along with being a new youth program, there's things that we're always learning and adapting to, and the game of basketball continues to change from the top all the way down, so we'll always make our adjustments where we need to. But having those youth teams developing at a younger age, we're hoping can help them translate once they get to that high school level down the road that we didn't have before. And so I think there's only going to be a positive moving forward with that.
Yeah. So youth program down to 5th grade now, new this year, and that's been the MO for the last few years as we keep adding new things, new programs, new tryouts, really expanding. And yeah, I'm excited too, more from the behind the scenes, but we have a lot of other goals and plans that we're working on that won't go into detail here, but if you pay attention to the next few months, I think you're going to see some of those things come to fruition. So guys, thanks a lot for doing this. This was great. Hopefully you enjoyed it. A few thanks to all the coaches in the programs, in the program for putting in the time and the effort, doing all the traveling, working with the players. Thanks to the families. We know that sometimes things come up, especially when you're traveling and there's flights and there's all kinds of issues. But your patience was fantastic, and we just enjoyed working with everybody. Big thanks to Next Pro for doing a fantastic job with what they do and running their tournaments and events. And of course, thanks to our sponsors for always being there for us and really allowing a lot of the stuff to happen that we get to do that's above and beyond the basketball, but just making it a better experience for the players and the families and the coaches that are involved. So thanks, everyone. Hope you enjoyed episode 8. Stay tuned, and we'll have more stuff coming your way here in the future.